Hello guys and welcome to Odds Serie A 38th match day. So final day and still we have to decide if the title goes for Milan or for Inter. Dani Fisichella, are you hopeful?
For what?
For
No,
Inter.
I'm not
For Inter,
hopeful.
of course.
No,
For
I'm
Inter.
not hopeful. I think Milan are going to be champions come Sunday afternoon. But let's say Serie A has delivered until the very last day the Scudetto fight, the relegation fight between Salernitana and Udinese. The places in Europa League are going to be decided on Saturday. So there is a lot to play for. It's been an exciting season. And I think it's going to be a very exciting last match day.
Dani is on the way to Salerno on foot, remember, because Salernitana is on the brink to find salvation. Let's analyze all the games. Guys, remember to leave your comments. Do you think Milan or Inter is going to win the Scudetto? Let us know, and of course, press the like and subscribe. And now let's go on with the show. Strangely, Dani, we don't have all the games at the same time, at the same day, including a game, for instance, on Friday, because Roma, they have to play, of course, the final of the conference on Wednesday against Feyenoord, and their game is on Friday, and still there are things to play for Roma, because they are 6 right now on the table, but only 1 point more than Fiorentina and Atalanta, 3 points less than Lazio, so still they need the victory to qualify for the Europa League. Dani, the question, if someone wants to put their money in Roma, is where the heads are, because they are not delivering in Serie A, not even against Venezia. 3 draws, 2 defeats in the last 5 games. Of course, their heads are in Europe.
In Tirana for the massive final against Feyenoord is a great occasion for the Roma players, for the Roma fans, for Mourinho, a specialist in finals. Yes, you can tell they have been relaxing a little bit after beating Leicester, but that's normal. Look, if you look at the odds, Roma favorites, but I don't think this is a true reflection of the teams they're going to be on the pitch on Sunday. Roma's going to rest probably 8 out of 11 players they're going to play in the final in Tirana. I cannot imagine really Abraham, the top scorer of Conference League, starting against Torino. Mkhitaryan and Zaniolo might be out because they still have to recover from an injury. The thing is, with Roma, even if they finish 8th in the table, if they win the Conference League, they will play in Europe next season. So Italy might have 8 teams in the Conference League. Look, in Europe or in total. Look, Torino can be really hard to beat against top teams. They gave very good games to Milan, to Inter, to Juventus, to Lazio recently. They already got 50 points. They got a good victory at the weekend. They also have a few injuries, Torino. So, especially in defense, they will be without Bremer, by far the best players so far this season. Singo, Buongiorno. So, there could be a few changes there. So check the lineups. But I don't think there are going to be many goals for this one. Someone already suggested on the chat, Millie, under 2.5 goals. Yes, Millie, that's my pick as well. Under 2.5 goals. If I have to go for one team to score, probably only Torino.
Okay, under 2.5 goals in your opinion. Good odds for that. Let's move on. Saturday, meaningless game. Genoa, Bologna. We are gonna go kind of fast for with these games because there is nothing to play for. It's very tricky to place your bets, and it's gonna be, Dani, a very sad game, of course, for Genoa, relegated to Serie B, a historic team in Serie A, and I guess all the effort is now on the summer transfer window just to bounce back and go back to the Serie A.
Everything went bad with Genoa. They sacked the manager, 2 managers. They sacked Shevchenko, didn't work. The January transfer window didn't work. They brought in too many young players, too many foreign players. Maybe they would have needed a little more Italian experience there to fight for the relegation. In the end, they had chances because they haven't converted many goals, but they didn't let many goals in. So in the games they kind of had a few chances, but experience is key. Bologna, poor away from home, playing for nothing already for a couple of weeks. You can tell they're letting a lot of goals in, so it's gonna be a farewell for Genoa from Serie A. They might go out with a bang. They might go out with a win. But I think it could be a high-scoring game, which we haven't seen many of Genoa so far. So over 2.5 goals here, 189. I like that as well.
Okay, also for Bologna, lately we are seeing many goals in their games. Next game, Atalanta-Empoli. Here is important for the European battle. The odds are very low for Atalanta because they must win this game if they want to play in Europe. The last game, the problem is that at home, no victories for them in the last 6 games in all competitions. It's been the problem of this season for Gasperini's men, Danny, the home
Absolutely.
form.
Yeah, the home form has been almost relegation. If you look at the goal difference for Atalanta, it is only +3 when they play at home. They concede far too many goals, 28. There's always been a problem with Atalanta, even last season, letting too many goals in, being not very focused at the back, sometimes playing a too high line, and the defenders, they're all prone to individual mistakes. Palomino, Demiral, Gimisti. Atalanta, it seems like is almost at the end of a cycle this season. Depends if they go in Europe or not. Depends if Gasperini is going to stay. They're going to lose their managing director, Giovanni Sartori, who's really, really important for the kind of transfer he's been doing so far, and making the most of their youth system as well. So, and bringing young players in, selling them for a high fee, etc. Against Milan, I was disappointed with Atalanta because they didn't go for it. They only went with one striker up front, only with Muriel. Previously we saw them going with Boga, Muriel, and Zapata. Let's see if Gasperini unleashes them now. They need to win this one or match Fiorentina result to be sure to play in Europe. And they play a very poor, inconsistent Empoli side who could have lost against Salernitana again. Vicario, the keeper, was the hero, saved the penalty, made a lot of saves. Only one win in the last 22 games for Empoli. Yet they are saved, but they have the second worst defense in Serie A. 70 goals conceded. Can you believe it? They still managed to be safe. Maybe, something to work on for next season for sure. The reverse fixtures were 4-1 for Atalanta. But if you look at the clean sheets, no clean sheet for Atalanta in the last 10, only 2 clean sheets for Empoli in the last 10. They were 2 0-0 draws. I'm going to go for Atalanta to win. The price for Atalanta to win is very low. So you could go for an Atalanta Asian handicap -1. But, with Atalanta, I'm always kind of sure they're going to let a goal in, both to score. If you combine these two, so you do a bet builder, mini ACCA, 238.
Atalanta, they need to win and hope that Roma or Fiorentina drop points to qualify for Europe. They will know, of course, Roma's result beforehand. And Fiorentina, they are playing a tough game against Juventus because the rivalry between these two teams is very high. We saw it in the Cup semifinals, for instance, and it's going to be a very special game also for Juventus. Danny, nothing to play for the Bianconeri, but last game of Chiellini, last game of Dybala, very bad season for Allegri in the comeback, and Fiorentina are in a really bad form. So I'm not sure if we should trust these odds also for Fiorentina to win.
I don't understand why the odds for you are so high. Juve have beaten Fiorentina 3 times this season, always 2-0. Yes, Fiorentina were a little bit unlucky in the cup competition against Juve. I think they deserved more. But yeah, Fiorentina comes on the back of 1 win in the last 5. They look very tired. They look really tired in Genoa against Sampdoria. They couldn't really manufacture a goal chance in the first 45 minutes. And also, Fiorentina usually against Juventus, they don't do really well. Only 1 win for them in the last 5 years. The good thing for Fiorentina is that at home, they've been really, really good. This season, they are 3rd in the table. Actually, if they win this one, they will jump up to 2nd in the home table. Obviously, they got many more points compared to the last season. But since Vlahovic switched side and went to Juventus, as we expected, the goals have diminished for Fiorentina. Juventus, you can tell they're playing for nothing. They're letting a lot of late goals lately at Genoa, Lazio. The game was pretty much won in both cases, but they only collected a point in 2 games in the end. No clean sheets in the last 5 for Juventus, and rarely Juventus scores more than 2 goals. So that's the concern for Juve. They'll need 2 or 3 goals to win this one. But as you mentioned, it's going to be the last game for many, for historical players. They made the history of Juventus, for Chiellini, for Dybala. I don't think this players and the establishment want to come out of disappointing season with another bad result, I think Juventus are going to grind out a good result here. So for this reason, I like the double chance or the Asian handicap plus 0.5. Look at the price here. I think it's huge. You cannot really overlook it. 192.
Many people are actually backing these odds for Juventus, the double chance for Marco, for instance, and our friend with the Cyrillic alphabet that for me is very hard to read. I'm sorry. The Cyrillic, but the odds are very good. Of course, if you are backing Juve, Dani, Allegri is going to stay for next year?
He's going to stay, but also because he's got a contract of 9 million per year. So I don't think Juventus are very keen on sacking him. But let's say something about Allegri. Everyone talks about a disaster. I don't think that's the right term to describe Juventus season. Let's say that it's disappointing because they haven't got a legacy to build on. They haven't got anything really to kick on the season. Next season, they almost have to start from scratches. But Vlahovic is very young. Chiesa comes back from an injury, is very young. Let's see what kind of market they do. Let's see what kind of players they bring in. But yeah, surely they need to almost start from zero again.
Next game on Saturday also for Europe, although there is almost nothing in play. Lazio,
there is
Verona,
nothing in play. There is absolutely nothing in play because Lazio is already in Europa League thanks to that goal from Milinkovic-Savic in the 96 minutes. So Lazio is guaranteed.
Okay, fifth, Dani, overall, do you think it's a good season for Sarri, the first one in the Lazio's bench?
No, I don't think players and supporters were expecting Lazio to play better and to be more balanced. I think is a team that sometimes loses balance. They score a lot, they concede a lot, they don't quite work as a unit as we saw other Sarri team do. But it was the first season, and I don't think Sarri has the players that really he wanted. However, we need to say credit to him because in the beginning, he, for example, didn't manage to fit Luis Alberto into the starting 11, and now we have seen since December he's playing more of attacking style football with Luis Alberto, with Milinkovic-Savic, with Immobile, with Pedro, with Zaccagni, with Anderson. So we saw him better play in that sense, and we saw more goals. But, qualifying for the Europa League, it's really the bare minimum for this Lazio team, which nonetheless, they have some individual good performances. I think we saw Milinkovic-Savic, one of the best seasons in Italy. Immobile, still the top scorer. Cataldi, really, really shine in midfield. But, other individual performances not as good. Anyway, good result at Torino. Just to come back to the last game, they are the second best attack at home. They play a Verona side that I think again they overachieved in comparison to Lazio, especially because they changed the manager after 5 games and Tudor came in. And they got 3 strikers in double figures this season with Caprari, with Barak, and with Simeone. Again, I think they need something in the market. They need a good holding midfielder or a regista, if you like, someone that organizes the plays. Verona is very aggressive, but they struggle when they have to control the tempo of the game a little bit more. For this one, this is tough, I think, to bet on. You could go for goals. So again, the Maniac, the Beat Builder, the Classic, both to score and over 2.5 goals that pay 2.72.
Also, probably goals we should expect in the next game, Spezia Napoli, because Napoli, since they clinched the Champions League spot, they are free flow scoring. Going to Spezia. Great job for Thiago Motta saving the team again. 3rd consecutive season for Spezia in Serie A. Dani, also for Napoli, you mentioned that this is going to be the season of the regrets, but I guess at the beginning of the season, if they are told that they are going to finish 3rd above Juventus, they would say, okay, it's going to be a good season.
Yeah, because it's an improvement from last season when they didn't even qualify for the Champions League. They missed it on the last game. But I think considering how well they started the season and how solid they look, and then they managed to stay close to the top up until February, even with injuries, even with the African Cup of Nations taking away Osimhen and Zambanguissa. It is disappointing because it's the home form that has let them down. But I think with a few new signings, maybe with a couple of young players. Obviously, they need to replace some of the old guards that will leave. Napoli could be competitive next season. For this one, I think they're going to be goals. Napoli are going for it. Now they're playing with Lozano, with Osimhen, with Insigne and Mertens at the same time on the pitch. They've scored more goals. Last game in a Napoli shirt for the captain, Insigne, 122 goals for Napoli, is going to go to Canada. Maybe the last game for Napoli as well for Dries Mertens. Again, these players, they want to finish with a good results. Spezia, as we often said, they often score. It is a team that plays on the front foot. Congratulations to Thiago Motta. I never thought they were going to be saved with the youngest team in Serie A, but they did, and they do it because this is a team that's got goals in them, really. They do concede quite a lot. I think they're the worst home defense, or the second worst home defense, Spezia, but they often score, as they did against Udinese away. I'm going to go for, again, another bet builder, another Miniac. I think Napoli are going to win this when the price is not huge. Maybe leave it for the ACCA, but combine it with one that I like a lot, under 4.5 goals. So if you combine this, if you think like could be a 2-1 win for Napoli, 3-1 win for Napoli even, you get 209. Let's not forget Napoli have kept 8 clean sheets away from home so far this season.
Let's go for the Scudetto race, the two most important games, of course. Inter Sampdoria, as we can see, everyone is backing Inter to beat Sampdoria. Nothing to play for Sampdoria. They are absolutely safe. For Inter, Dani, they were able to beat Cagliari, so they arrived to the final day with options. They won the Supercoppa, they won the Coppa. Last day, they can even win the title. It's been a good season for Inter?
Yes.
Even if they don't win the title?
Even without the title, I think it's a good season. If you have to give a mark to Inter, I would give 7 out of 10. Even without the title, well, with the title will be 10 out of 10, of course. But, losing Conte, Lukaku, Eriksen, Hakimi, replacing them with Dumfries, for example, that never played in Serie A before. Dzeko, who's a good centre forward, but old. Çalhanoğlu, they go for free for Milan. A new manager. I think it's been a good season. No one really expected the Inter to challenge for the title. Yes, of course, there are going to be regrets because they had the title in hands. Had they not lost that derby, which they were dominating, Inter would be champion. Had Radu not made a mistake at Bologna, they would still be in with a chance to win the title. But nonetheless, I think considering also who they beat in Coppa Italia to get to the trophy, they beat Empoli, Roma, Milan, and Juventus. I think the success is also measured on your opponents, the opponents that you beat to win a trophy. It's been a good season. But I think they got 2% chance of winning the Scudetto. Okay, I'm not gonna say 0% chance because you are always in with a chance. But the chance for Inter is in this way: if they score really, really early, if they score in the first 10 minutes, and Milan are still 0-0 at Sassuolo, that could put a little bit of pressure on Milan. But let's not forget, if they finish level on point, Milan are still champions. So Milan can also play for the draw there. So the only hope for Inter is to make sure that they score, that they settle the game, and Milan might become a little bit nervous because of that. But, I really can't see it. Anyway, for this one, Inter are the best attack. If we need to talk about betting terms, Inter is the best attack of Serie A with 81 goals, and they play against one of the worst defense, which is Sampdoria. However, Sampdoria are already saved, and they were saved before they kicked off against Fiorentina on Monday, and you can tell the difference. They were playing more freely. They were committing more players forward. Quagliarella scored a beautiful goal. Out of a sudden, Fiorentina, the shackles were off. Now I wonder, because they are more free, they got, it's been a disappointing season with them, but, they're not risking it. Maybe Giampaolo is going to go with 2 up front. He's going to go with Caputo and Quagliarella. And, if you look at the stats, the last 6 games of these 2 teams have all been over 2.5 above to score. I remember last season, very similar circumstances. Last game of the season, Inter Sampdoria finished 5-1. No one had nothing to play for, but yet Inter conceded. Inter conceded a lot recently. They always concede in the last 6 games. So this is quite unusual for one of the best defenses in Serie A. They can be tired as well. It's been a very, very, very long season, over 53 games played. Maybe this is a chance for some of the Inter players as well to say goodbye to the spectators. We know Vidal is going to leave. We know Sanchez is going to leave. Maybe Perisic is going to leave as well. Look, it depends because this game can go either way. If Milan are winning it easily, probably they're gonna make changes, rotation. I'm not sure Inter are gonna win, for example, the second half, depending how Milan are doing. But I would go for both to score here, 2-17.
Okay, both to score. Someone is asking actually if we should go for both teams to score,
Yes.
perhaps also going for first half victory of Inter. No, this is 1.5 only, or for an Asian handicap, since as you mentioned, probably they will start the game pushing a lot to put the pressure on Milan's shoulders. Is Dybala heading to Inter? Arkur is asking you, Danny.
It looks like Inter are happy to offer him what he's asking from Juventus. Yeah, it looks like, but looks like Perisic might be going the other way. So at the end of the day, it could be a good deal for both.
Okay, Dybala could be a good signing for Inter and Milan. This is the key game, of course. Milan, they have to do the job in the Mapei Stadium. For Milan, 5 consecutive victories, conceding only 2 goals in the last 10 games. As you mentioned, the draw is enough for them. I guess all the Milan supporters are very nervous and anxious, Danny, but you are completely or almost sure, no, that the Milan won't fail and they will do the job.
I am, for a couple of reasons. First of all, because Milan has done it time and time again away from home this season and last season. They are the top away team in Serie A this season. They were the top away team in Serie A last season. They've been a lot of time under pressure this season, and they managed to be very, very continuous, very, very regular. In the last 4 or 5 games, we all said Milan got the difficult calendar, but they managed to overcome tough opposition, especially Verona and Lazio away from home, going behind, conceding first, and still keeping the cool, keeping the nerves. The second reason, because I think Milan are not going to slip up, is because, look, in the history of Serie A, we have seen titles lost in the last game of the season. For example, we saw Inter losing a title in 2002 at the Olympic of Roma against Lazio. Juventus won it. We saw Juventus losing a title in 2000 at Perugia, and Lazio won it. But in both occasions, there was either a big rivalry between the teams. Perugia and Juve don't like each other. Well, pretty much no teams like Juventus in Italy anyway. But there was a big rivalry, even if Perugia have nothing to play for. Lazio and Inter, they do like each other. Lazio would have been very happy to let Inter win in 2002, but then they had to fight to go into the Coppa UEFA Cup back then. If you look at Sassuolo, first of all, they're not playing for anything. There isn't a big rivalry with Milan, and second, there isn't such a big atmosphere at the stadium. The Mapei Stadium is not Anfield. It's not La Bombonera. It's not a hot stadium. They will be filled with Milan supporters. It will be 90% Milan supporters and very few Sassuolo supporters. And also, just to add a little bit more of spice, do you know which team the Sassuolo president support? He's been very open about it.
Juve?
No, Milan. He supports Milan. He always said that, Mr. Squincy. So, I don't want to say they're going to give it to Milan, but I don't think there are the elements to create that tension, that rivalry. I think Sassuolo are going to go for it. They're going to try to play football, which is attacking. They score a lot of goals. They got good strikers, all 3 of them, Berardi, Scamacca, Raspadori, all in double figures. But I don't think they'll be able to really win against Milan. Let's not forget, Milan can also do it with a draw. In the reverse fixtures, Sassuolo won 3-1 at San Siro, but that was after Milan played in Champions League and they won 1-0 at Atletico Madrid. This time they were tired. They don't have to go for it. Milan only conceded 2 in the last 9 Serie A games. Sassuolo conceded 17 and kept no clean sheet. So, the numbers suggest Milan should have a large victory, but in terms of betting terms, I like both to score in this one. 250, because again, it could also be a draw. It's 250, not 170.
Okay, it's the end of the road also for many of the Sassuolo stars. The ones you mentioned, Ankur is saying that they have dangerous players. Danny mentioned them, of course.
Yeah, so are Milan, but sometimes Sassuolo are their own danger in defense.
Mm-hmm. Well, Danny has cleared his the probabilities, the options. Let me know, guys, if you are backing Milan or Inter in this final day. Let's see if they do the job. I'm going for the glory and the title to the drama. Danny, Salernitana, Udinese. Well, the drama, I guess no Salernitana fan thought that they will arrive
No.
alive to the final day, and not only alive, but with the victory, they will be safe. They don't have to wait and see what Cagliari are doing. They have just to beat Udinese at home. Udinese, they have absolutely nothing to play for, only one victory in the last 6 games. For Salernitana, Danny, they drew at Empoli and at Cagliari. I guess we expected Salernitana even to beat Empoli, but still, the miracle for Davide Nicola is crazy. It's amazing.
Yeah, the miracle is on. The miracle is on. So I think they only need 3 points, as you said, to be sure. If they are level with Cagliari, though, in points, they will go down because of the goal difference. So they need to win this one. I think Salernitana's success could be explained with solidity at the back. In the last 9 games, they only conceded more than 1 goal in 1 occasion. They can score, and they haven't been conceding many goals. Actually, if had they scored the penalty with Perotti at the end of the game against Empoli, they would be already saved. Had they not conceded a goal to Cagliari in the 90th minutes, they'd be already saved. So I think if you look on paper, they've been really, really good. In the last 7 games, they are unbeaten. They get back from suspension one of the most important signings, which is Bohinen, the Norwegian. He's been really, really good in midfield, running a lot of kilometers and recovering a lot of the ball. So they're gonna be solid there, and they can nick a goal with the players they got up front, with Bonazzoli, Verdi, maybe even Ribéry coming from the bench. Juric has been really instrumental, and they play a team that's got nothing to play for. Udinese, with Udinese anything can happen, and we saw them recently being good in terms of they scoring more, committing more players forward, but you can tell they're playing freely, they're playing for nothing. And maybe without the 2 main strikers, Beto and Success, I cannot see them hurting Salernitana too much. Maybe scoring 1, but not too many. I think this is gonna be cagey because Salernitana are gonna perhaps adapt to what's happening in Venezia. So if there are goals, they might be more in the second half. Under 1.25 goals in the first half, 2.12.
Okay, it's cagey one, especially in the first half. Shuban is telling us over 3 goals. Be careful, because when we have these kind of relegation games, usually we don't see many goals, of course. And the last game is Venezia-Cagliari. Venezia in Serie B, going back to the Serie B, whereas Cagliari, Danny, as you mentioned, they have to win and wait for Salernitana to drop points. For Cagliari, it's only 1 victory in the last 10 games. I guess in March, Danny, when we were doing the shows in March, we thought Cagliari were going up and up, but at one point the engine stopped and they were not able to reverse it. Last season they made the miracle, but when you are risking that much season after season, you get burned, and this is probably what is going to happen with Cagliari.
Yeah, after those 3 away wins Cagliari collected at the beginning of the year at Torino, Genoa, and Bergamo, we thought, Cagliari made it. They're home and dry. But then they stopped scoring. The problem for Cagliari, if João Pedro doesn't score, they really struggle. They only go João Pedro in double figures so far this season, and away from home, they only score 14 goals, only scored 2 in the last 4. I don't think this is going to be easy for Cagliari. I think they're going to go down, to be fair. I'm not sure even they're going to win this one. I didn't see them really, really going for it against Inter as well. I know it was tough, but it was the game of their life almost. And they didn't really threaten Inter too much. And I think Venezia, actually, although they are already down, already relegated, but they were already relegated before kicking off against Roma. And they showed a lot of character, a lot of strength, a lot of resilience, because they scored first and then they hold on and they defended really, really well with bodies on the line. They earned a very good point at Roma, useless for the classification, but really important for the morale. The week before, they scored 4 against Bologna. I think they're going for it a little bit more. They sacked the manager. I know probably wasn't the right decision to do it anyway, but now they play with more swagger, if you like, with less complex, inferiority complex. So I think, excuse me, Venezia could be favored for. I mean, I like the odds for Venezia, or maybe the double chance for Venezia. Venezia draw no bet in the first half. It's something I like, which pays a lot, pays 3. So if there is a draw in the first half, you get your stake refund. If Venezia wins the first half, maybe scoring the first goal, very, very good price.
It's been a season full of surprises in the Serie A, even with Genoa going to the Serie B, perhaps also Cagliari, 2 teams that we didn't expect at the beginning of the season to go down, Salernitana perhaps to be safe, the Milan winning the Scudetto. The price was super high at the beginning of the season. It's been a great year, Danny. We analyze every single game of this Serie A. Here, I want to thank you, Danny. Thanks everyone also for
Thanks to everyone for following as well.
Exactly, everyone for following, for commenting. Leave us comments with your suggestions for the next season, what you want to see in the shows, in the Serie A. And let's finish this season, Danny, with another ACCA for you.
We nailed a few this season, but it would be great to finish really with a good ACCA. So 5 games as always. Atalanta to win. Fiorentina Juventus double chance X2. Lazio Verona over 2.5 goals. Napoli to win a Spezia. Genoa Bologna double chance 1x. Total just short of 10. 9-17.
Let's kick off the summer then. Of course, Serie A go on holidays. We still have Nations League, and very soon we will have also the Champions League preview, because they start as soon as the Champions League final is played. So, Anchor, don't worry. You will miss football. We will miss it too, but we are going to be back very soon. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, everyone.
Ciao, Edu. Enjoy the last game of the season. Let us know in the comments. See you soon.
Bye.